People-pleasing often appears as kindness, generosity, patience, or emotional sensitivity. But beneath these qualities can exist a deep fear of rejection, conflict, disappointment, or abandonment. A person may gradually learn that keeping others happy is the safest way to maintain connection. This pattern can develop when approval feels conditional, when emotional conflict is unpredictable, when expressing personal needs is discouraged, or when someone becomes responsible for managing other people's emotions. Over time, the person becomes highly attentive to what others want, while becoming increasingly disconnected from what they themselves need. They may say yes when they want to say no, apologize when they have done nothing wrong, avoid disagreement, suppress anger, change their preferences, or constantly worry about disappointing others. The behavior can feel voluntary because helping others may genuinely provide satisfaction. But the deeper problem appears when kindness becomes psychologically compulsory. The person begins believing that being useful is necessary for being valued. Their self-worth becomes connected to how comfortable, pleased, or satisfied everyone around them feels. This creates an impossible responsibility because no individual can control another person's emotions. Yet the people-pleaser may feel guilty whenever someone is unhappy, even when that unhappiness has nothing to do with them. Their emotional attention becomes directed outward, constantly scanning for tension and searching for ways to restore harmony. Eventually, this can produce exhaustion, hidden resentment, loss of identity, and relationships in which giving becomes expected rather than appreciated. The deepest psychology of people-pleasing involves the fear that authenticity will cost connection. The person may unconsciously believe that their real needs are too demanding, their boundaries are selfish, or their disagreement will make them less lovable. Instead of asking what they genuinely want, they ask what will keep everyone satisfied. This can create a false form of harmony because conflict is avoided externally while resentment grows internally. The person may secretly feel unappreciated because others do not recognize sacrifices that were never openly communicated. They may then become bitter while continuing to behave agreeably, creating a painful cycle of giving, suppressing, resenting, and giving again. Healing begins when the person learns that kindness and self-abandonment are not the same thing. Healthy generosity comes from choice. People-pleasing comes from fear. A healthy boundary does not make someone cruel, and another person's disappointment does not automatically mean that you have done something wrong. Learning to say no can initially create guilt because the nervous system has become accustomed to equating compliance with safety. That guilt does not necessarily mean the boundary is wrong. It can simply mean that an old pattern is being challenged. The deeper transformation occurs when a person begins allowing others to experience their authentic preferences, limitations, and boundaries without immediately trying to repair their reactions. You can care about people without managing their emotions. You can be generous without sacrificing yourself. You can disagree without becoming You can disappoint someone and still be a good person. The deepest freedom from people-pleasing comes when acceptance is no longer something you constantly negotiate through self-sacrifice. You begin choosing relationships in which you are valued not only for what you provide, but for who you are. At that point, kindness becomes more genuine because it is no longer driven by fear. You are no longer giving everything to prove that you deserve to be kept. You are giving because you freely choose to, while knowing that your own needs and dignity matter too.